Hey, welcome to a new episode. I am at ARIOS today, which is a really cool supercar, pretty much tuner car shop in Koriyama up in Fukushima. The owner, Suzuki-san, is a good friend of mine. He's actually really well known in Japan because he's a very respected Super Taikyu champion. So Super Taikyu is kind of like the Group N series in Japan. And he has this insane shop in the middle of Koriyama. They do a bit of everything. Very high-end cars, but they also do a lot of custom stuff. They do supercar rentals, so there's a lot to see here today. And before we go inside, let's take a look at a selection of cars that are out here. So most of the stuff is either stock or for rental. Pretty much everything here is customized. So starting with this 3 Series on big 20-inch work wheels. This is a cool Cayenne GTS, brand new M3. That's the NSX I just drove down with. 6 Series, and as you can see, I'm going towards this Carrera RS replica. This is a beautiful car, only 50,000 kilometers on it. Just got that classic Carrera RS look. The side pipe, you got the ducktail with the Carrera RS logo. Just look how clean this is inside. So well done, just simple. It's got a nice roll cage in there just to keep that shell nice and stiff. Recaro buckets, Williams seat belts, and a personal Alcantara steering wheel. Very, very clean. Loving these mirrors. So yeah, a little bit of old stuff too here. Let's take a look at the front lineup here. And the first thing I come across is this Urus kitted ER34 Skyline GT3 on Workmeisters. Bronze barrel. Sick looking thing. Ready to drift. And up for sale. Take a look inside if it's open. So it's got a bride bucket for the driver's side. Flip up boss. Nice steering wheel there. So very cool build. Very, very aggressive. Right behind it is this old R32 GTR. It's running really cool. Center lock impul wheels. Talk about period correct stuff. Hoshino Racing RSs. It's a bit rough. Definitely needs a bit of attention. And there's actually a customer here looking, asking about it. Next to it is this Varis full wide body conversion up for sale. This thing is pretty insane. We'll have to ask Suzuki-san to open up so we can take a look at the engine, but it's definitely a full build. T37s, and hiding behind there, some Brembo 6 spots. Actually, same calipers I run on my GTR front and back. You got 4s. Lots of carbon details, carbon doors, carbon hood, and it's currently on sale for 4.5 million yen. So with the current state of the yen now, that would be around 35 grand. And next to the Varis car is this first generation Hachiroku ZN6 on Watanabes. Very, very cool. So it's not often you see 16-inch wheels on these cars, but boy does it look different. I really like this look. It's got a serious amount of negative camber, and it's on sale for 2.7 million yen. Next to it, another Hachi for 3 million. This is the daddy of them all, the S65 AMG on Carlson wheels, because everything in Japan needs to be customized, of course. No price on this. I know these cars devalue like crazy. Actually, I just spotted this as an S63. So possibly somebody's playing around with badges. Over here, an old school Legacy. I used to have the wagon version of this car. Really great car. Incredible how cheap they are now. So I just spotted a Supra here, A90, and it's actually running Suzuki's own ARIOS Aero. So that's another thing this company does. They do develop their own body kits. So it's actually a full-on I wouldn't say conversion, but definitely like side skirts and then rear bumper finisher. You got the massive spoiler back here and that front lip. It's time to go inside the main shop and check out what they have inside. So you can see here, it's actually a pretty big space. 1961 MG. So really there is a bit of everything, even vintage cars. So Suzuki-san told us that today is kind of quiet. They don't have as many cars as before, or as usual rather. This is Suzuki-san here. Konnichiwa, kyo arigatou gozaimasu. If you've seen the video I did on Haggerty with Larry, you'll notice that this is the actual McLaren MP4 GT3 race car that Suzuki-san was drifting at Ebisu Nishi. And since then, he's actually wrapped the car in this really cool kind of camo thing. And he's had a custom clutch installed, so it's a little bit easier to drift. And it doesn't have that problem where, you know, you just burn out the race clutch, because they're really tiny 4-disc clutches on these cars. So it's a bit tough, but let's see if we can take a look inside. Oh, there's Larry's sticker. I've been shooting a lot of race cars lately, but nothing this modern. So it's a 2010 car, so that would make it 13 years old. But yeah, I mean, this is the kind of cars you need to get into. I mean, you know, 10-year-old race cars are the best track cars. You get your race prep chassis and suspension, you get sequential transmissions. Oh my lord, look at that. And if I figure out how to open, that's what you pull to open the door. It's got a hydro. That's so sick. So it's got ARIOS bucket seats. Yes. Oh my god, look at that. That's so cool. And of course, because everything is blocked out back here, you have a reverse camera. But you see what I mean? If you're gonna have a track car, buying these kind of old race cars is the way forward. And with both doors open, it's so dramatic. So it's currently filling up the air tank. The compressor was running. Of course, this is an air shifted. So air shifted sequential, and you can see how it differs from the production engine. There's a big oil tank here for the dry sump, ceramic coated exhausts and catalysts. You can see how the intake has the charge coolers here on each side. So that's the cooler for the transmission, hanging high there in between the exhausts. As you can see, lots of carbon fiber. Yeah, that's the air restrictor, because this used to be used in Super GT300, so they have to kind of restrict and make the whole playing field kind of match up. It's kind of strangled a bit, as you could say. And as I was saying, there is actually an air intake for the cooler. That's the panel that is out here. So that feeds the transmission cooler. And let's take a look up front. Wow, PWR radiator. Look at that. That's amazing. This is proper race car stuff, obviously. So every panel's in carbon fiber. Look at the thickness of this. And of course, because this is a drift car, hoiru ARIOS.
So, ARIOS wheel.
Wow, even the wheels are ARIOS. So you have these custom made, obviously, because they're center lock. Big Akebono brakes. Adva Niova A09s. And of course, look at the camera on that. And it's been modified, so you have enough steering angle to actually keep it at an angle while drifting. It comes with a user manual. McLaren GT. And of course, center lock wheel nuts require these gigantic things and an air tank to get the air jacks to lift the car from the ground. What a thing though. As you can see, the vinyl wrap is not liking the heat coming from the exhausts. There's a nice LED
emergency light here at the back. That's the rear view camera. And I kind of love how they maintained the whole sizing correct. As you know, race cars always run massive sidewalls. So these Yokohama tires, they're actually the burner tires, are 275/45 18s. And they're Advanced Sports V105s, where the front gets the Neovas for extra grip. And as you can see, lots of camber. If you guys know, you know. Okay, so we've got the air tank ready to lift the car. Okay. Hey, dozo.
Oh man, that's the way to do it. It's so good. Too easy. Oh, now we can check out the angle. So, as I was saying,
A lot of suspension mods. Hey, dozo. So you can kind of see how much steering this GT3 race car has. Look at that. That's crazy. You're gonna see this from the front. That's wild. So, yeah, that's how you drift a McLaren GT3 race car.
crazy. Oh wait, there's more to this kit. Look at the size of that impact gun. Oh my gosh. So this is the easy way to do it. Too easy. That's crazy. Look at that.
Easy.
So that's it. All you need is an air tank and a massive impact gun. And like I've been very difficultly trying to avoid. There's another challenge car or rather GT3 cup car next to it. This is a 458 challenge that one of his customers, it's kind of left here on display for the time being. He doesn't get much chance to use it. But what makes this car very special is that it's the last NA Ferrari challenge car. So it's actually quite a bit more expensive than most used kind of race cars and challenge cars that you would find on the market. I guess they're waiting for a collector that kind of understands the value and the importance of this car to maybe pick it up. Naturally aspirated V8. Wow.
Of course, a dry carbon door. So simple, so smooth. That's your latch to open it. Bolted in roll cage. Anybody that complains that Japan does roll cages wrong, Ferrari does bolt in, or at least they used to. And of course, Sabelt seats and belts with the Ferrari logo. And there's that steering wheel with all the buttons and controls. The LCD back there, 458 challenge. That's the air tank for the shifter. There's a shift. And these doors are like featherweight. So light. So yeah, that's the ARIOS race car corner. There's an interesting collection of Ferrari engines. So that is actually the original kind of build sheet from Ferrari. That's the engine number. It says Nuovo, which means new in Italian. これ Mondial, no?
348.
Ah, 348. So that's the 348, 328, and the Testarossa.
Testarossa.
The flat 12. So Suzuki-san actually raced for, look, you see the actual mechanic suit here. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Wolf Racing. So Wolf Racing was an old F1 team, I believe it was from either Austria or Switzerland. And they actually did a complete version of the Lamborghini Countach back in the day. And a collector here in Japan by the name of Fukushima-san has actually purchased the rights to the Wolf Racing brand team. And he's actually made his own Wolf Racing race team here in Japan that up until 2018 used to race in the Porsche Carrera Cup. And Suzuki-san used to be the driver. And you can see him here with the Wolf Racing GT3 Cup car. That was 2018. So since then, the brand has kind of dropped off racing. They are now a restoration factory, I think based out of Fukuoka maybe. And they kind of cater to like restorations of really high-end collectibles. And this is Suzuki-san's racing history in one cabinet. He's done all sorts of racing, including Idlers, Super Taikyu, Porsche Carrera Cup Japan. So many memories here.
and some sick models. That's another of his previous demo cars. 2018, eh? 2018 Wolf Racing.
Yeah.
In Fuji Speedway.
Fuji Speedway.
Suzuka.
これは富士かな。
Fuji car. So the Porsche Sports 2018 Almanac. So if you're into your Hot Wheels, you'll probably see some really rare stuff. Lancia Stratos, BMW M1, the Knight Rider package. More Group B. Okay, enough model cars. Let's take a look at the real stuff. Starting here, we have a 599, a 355, which are cool. You know, I'm not gonna really stop and give too much info on that. Wa number ne. So in Japan, every time you see the hiragana wa, that means the car is for rent. So as I showed you on the sign outside, ARIOS is also a rental company, and that's one of the rental cars. As is this REM Tokyo Auto Salon demo car. So the crazy thing about this SA22 is that at 2020 Tokyo Auto Salon, it was actually on the REM booth. I think it runs 13B twin rotor on carbs, and of course it has a custom REM wide body. Oh look, he still has the Tokyo Auto Salon thing, so you can see it here. It was actually the winner of the tuning car category 2020, so right before COVID started. And we can take a look at the engine here. これ13でしょ? 13B, so 13B on carburetors. So not the most powerful of rotors, but the sound must be absolutely insane. I still can't believe this is actually a rental car. It's so crazy. And there's a signature dolphin tail exhaust that Mimiya-san likes to do on his cars. So it has that really old school classic racer look, but inside it still has the very simple modern stock dash. Very sweet car, very sweet rental car, should I say. From the Ferraris, we go into some Japanese stuff. This is actually the GRMN version of the Yaris that was actually presented at last year's Tokyo Auto Salon. I actually tried to get one and I didn't make it in the lottery, but a lot of people did. And Suzuki-san is one of them, so this is up for sale. I think this is gonna sell considerably more than what the car was on offer for from GRMN. It's got a ton of carbon accessories, spoiler, roof, and of course the hood. Very special car, as is this 34 next to it. NK wheels, R35 Brembo calipers front and back, painted in yellow. So this is a V-spec, so it would be like a 99 or 2000 model. Looks pretty stock. Stock seats, stock interior, stock body. There's some Nismo skirts, Nismo finishers at the back, carbon fiber wing stays. This is another really rare sight. You just do not see these cars anymore for some reason. The SLS, and of course for utmost theater, nothing quite beats the real Gullwing, the real deal. Look at that. I think when Mercedes replaced the SLS with the GT, I think they did themselves a disservice because it just does not match up to this car. This is something very, very special. That long bonnet and the wheels like right at the back, short overhangs. This is a classic, and because of it, these cars sell for a ton of money. So very special. I'm not a big AMG guy, but this is something else. And of course, the original 63 engine. Look at that. It sits as far back as can be I mean, the entire engine, as you can see, is behind the wheels. So this is a front midship. All that space up front is taken up by the air boxes and the intakes that feed the air boxes. I've seen some, aftermarket carbon conversions done. It looks absolutely amazing. And just look at the size of that hood. Deka. Look at that thing. That's like 3 meters high. That's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna hear that V8.
That's the sound of an AMG. These are real crackles. There's nothing manufactured about that sound. And that's why the SLS is even more special than any AMG GT. So good.
Of course, we have to kind of mention that there's a nice RWB next to it. So you can tell when the RWBs are a little bit older than the current cars, because they're slightly more conservative when it comes to width. Back in the day, this used to be absolute, craziness when it came to like wide body conversions. But now, if you go for the full deal, they pretty much come out to here. So close to double. It's just a very balanced car. Very clean inside too. It's got the Nojima special matte black, like Stella Artois. So cool. And the other 355 is actually, you can't really see. Let's see if we can open it. And it's a gated 6-speed. So this is an insane collectible, because 355s with the manual fetch pretty much 30-40% more than any e-gear, whatever you called. And this one is another gated. So 2 very special 355s here at ARIOS. Staying with Ferrari, we kind of have to talk about the Liberty Walk 458 Spider. Possibly the most dramatic car here. Look at this thing. Of course, it's dumped on air suspension, massive Forgiato wheels. This is definitely a Kato special. And you don't really realize just how massive that ducktail is until you get up close to it and realize it's like a good 15 centimeters lift on there. Titanium exhaust. If you want to stand out, nothing's going to do anything more than this. I found the most Italian thing here. Dotato di sistema security. That's like, sounds stupid in Italian and English. So even inside this 430, there's a exposed gated manual transmission. It kind of tells you what type of cars ARIOS really caters to. Look at this place. So right next to the shop, right next to the main shop, is this artificial grass area with a coffee shop. Made out of a container. How cool is that? Oh, there's a cool little Honda Beat here. So wait, it's not even over yet. So across the street, there's a third building. This is all the parking area for ARIOS. So it's literally like 3 blocks of Koriyama. Suzuki-san, you're crazy. So he actually rents this to a golf shop, but behind here is a workshop where all the work, maintenance and stuff gets done to cars. And of course, Suzuki-san can never keep away from drifting with his T&E kitted S14. Oh, there's a few more drift cars here.
Yeah.
JDM factory. Yeah. Super cool S15 in yellow. So basically this is sold out. This is just sold. It's custom yellow conversion because ARIOS is kind of synonymous with the color yellow. His first few demo cars were yellow, so but it's sold. Like every S chassis out there, it just gets sold before it even gets put up for sale. And there's another work in progress here, 180. So there you have it. 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks. It's all ARIOS. I just want to say a big thank you to Suzuki-san for inviting me to check out ARIOS. I've been meaning to come here for so many years.
Never had the chance, but today we managed to do it. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna put a link to Suzuki-san's own YouTube channel below, so check him out. He's always got cool videos on really interesting high-end cars. So thanks for checking in today, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more of these type of videos.
Kuroboshi nasu. So this is handmade sweets. Oh, what a cool space. It's made out of a container, and cars are advertised for sale. Hot Wheels here. That's so cool. So you get the vibe. It's all about cars, right? And their speciality is handmade sweets.
Okay, so we got the churros. Time to get fat.